Everyone, hey, welcome back to another exciting episode of Google Sheets videos. Here we go. I'm going to teach you how to use a VLOOKUP in Google Sheets. And starting now. Over here we have a SKU sheet, and it's got some fruits and vegetables. And over here we have inventory sheet, and it has fruits and vegetables as well, and with a quantity next to them. So you notice that not all of the fruits are there, and these ones are in alphabetical order. Here's out of order. But what we can do is to take very easily the information from one sheet and bring it to the other. And so here we go. And we do that with a VLOOKUP. So I will say equals VLOOKUP. And we will reference A1. And then we'll say comma. Go over to our inventory sheet. And then we're going to select both of these columns, A to B. And then we will say another comma. And then we'll talk about 2. We use 2 because it is the second column over. So we're referencing stuff from one column and then looking at the adjacent column 2 over. And then we're going to choose false. And that is because we want an exact match. So then here we go. And mango is 55. So inventory for mango is 55. So we got that right. And then let's drag this down, and you'll see parsnip is 62, so we can go look over there. Parsnip is 62, and all these other ones are going to match as well. Potato 13. Let's just make sure potato is 13. Yeah, so that's the power of VLOOKUP. So you might be wondering what happens if you say true instead of false. It gives you the closest match. It doesn't really make as much sense with a string, with a word like pair or something like that. Where it can be good is if it's a value, like a number. So over here I made a VLOOKUP, and we'll say in D we'll have 5, 10. I'll just drag this down. And then, so we have increments of 5 going up to 80. So we have our VLOOKUP, it's basically looking at A2, and then it's trying to find the closest, or trying to find a match over here. So it's got the value of 1 because it's only looking at one column, D to D, basically. And so here we go. So now if we put a number like 5 in, it'll come back with 5 because that's the closest. Now if we say 6, we get an error message. And then what we can do is say true instead of false. And it would come up with the closest without going over the Price is Right rules. And then we could say, let's say 12. We come back with 10. If we said 22, it's going to give us 20. Say 186, it's going to give us 80 because that was the most we had on this list. Now if we say 90 or 100, it's going to give us those numbers until you get to, say, 180 and then 190. Then it only gives you that. So you'll see that. Now another thing that's if we had some values that were out of order, like 180, so you would get that 100 because it was not. It's getting the first match in that list. So you'd want to have that D in sorted by alphabetically. So we'll sort date range. Then we get the right one. Now, what happens if we have something less like 4. Then we get our non-applicable, doesn't work. Couldn't find the value. So that's that. So that's the lesson on VLOOKUPs. Oh wait, you want more? Oh, okay. Conditional formatting with VLOOKUPs. I got you. All right, so say here we're at inventory, and we're going to look up if all of these show up in SKU. So kind of got something going here, but we'll just write it out. Okay, so we'll go to custom formula. We'll say equals. Now, VLOOKUPs in conditional formatting, you use an array formula. So this is getting a little tricky. I should probably, well, we'll just say array. I'll put this final code into the notes so you could see what I'm talking about. Array formula, and we'll do our VLOOKUP. And then what we're going to use is an indirect because we want to, it just needs to look outside itself. It's kind of strange. I don't really understand the whole ins and outs of why we have to use the indirect, but I'm sure someone can comment below. Oh, we're actually going to put this indirect into brackets. And we're going to reference SKU, so we'll say SKU A to A. And then we'll say indirect. Same thing, SKU A to A. Into those brackets. We'll say we're just looking at column 1 and we want to say false. And then we'll say where it equals A1. Okay, so basically we're saying array formula VLOOKUP if it's A1, because in conditional formatting you always look at the first row in that column, and then we go indirect SKU AA, indirect SKU AA in the brackets, and then 1 because it's the first column, false because we want an exact match, and then A1. So you'll notice that we have all these in green because our conditional formatting says it's green. We can say bold, whatever. Now, what happens if we get tomato and put that over here? Then it shows up green. Same thing with watermelon and blueberry. See, watermelon and blueberry now. Conditional formatting applied. So, yeah, hope you learned something good. Keep watching. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And yeah, tell me what you want in the next video. I'm happy to teach. Thanks so much. Bye.